Hello and welcome back to STB Racing League here, season 19 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at Tier 3. And, well, here for another great race, obviously, by commentary, by myself, as per usual. Like for the other 22, or the other 20 weeks I've done so far. Right now we've got Mazepin, currently with 35.7. So, definitely somebody to look out for in terms of pace. Fresh, currently 4 tenths down. Pole position last week, well yesterday, sorry, was, well, about half a second faster than it was in Tier 1 by MS Tress, but we all know MS Tress is not really, is more of a Tier 1 driver than a Tier 2. Same with Nicky, to be honest. Technically, that effectively puts me the fastest Tier 1, Tier 2 driver into the qualifying session, but not in the race. Yeah. So yeah, we've got fresh out and back on the track. Got Mazepin in the pits with a 35.7. The lap time is looking to keep going down at some point. We've got quite a few cars on track now. Maldi's took a while. It's like Maldi, Santa, Fatitas and Pete taking a long time to get their laps done. Fatitas starting his lap and just get all the things like, oh, and you can't touch that curb. It's very awkward. You have to hit that curb and just away. If you don't hit that, if you hit that curb in the exit of turn 1, and he's Fatitas is round. And yep, that's an expected thing to happen at turn 3. If you're doing that at turn 3, something's not right with the setup. And your line can also take into effect of that. So, you know, it's just cutting corners here. But yeah, it's interesting. Maldi's also on a lap, so people getting some laps done now. See what just was the first sector. I can't remember exactly what's a good lap time. I think it's about low 13, and he's done that. Powerful first sector according to the map. Coming into the hairpin is always a bit of a challenge. This corner is you really don't want to sacrifice too much exit to the point where you actually struggle to get the corner car in to hit the apex. Going down into this chicane, very difficult one. You really have to open the corner up as Maldi's gone a bit deep into there. He's just going to compromise his exit a little bit, but it's only cleanly, nevertheless. DRS open. Down the straight, keep a tight line here, and then bring it back to the outside, just so you can break about the 100-meter board. So on the brakes, use all the curve available. You really got to take these curves sometimes. Maldi's not deciding to use those curves, which is fair enough. They can be quite aggressive. I think qualifying, you can probably want to use them, but in the race, you probably want to avoid them a little bit more, or if not use one. There's a little bit of a slide with apex, so he's really struggling to get his car turned in. Third sector is a very silly third sector. This is why they improved it in real life, because it's just a silly third sector. It is. It's just very tight, and it's a very messy last sector. Maldi's turns in very early. It's used all his deployments into the last sector. Got no how he's managed to do that, and it's a 35.8. So decent lap by Maldi, but I think he can find some more time in that lap. As fresh and validated his lap. Alpha on the lap, he's 2 tenths up. The McLaren driver. Let me just get his tyre stuff out of the way, because it actually blocks it a little bit. There we go. Right now we've got Alpha, 37.6, but he's 2 tenths up. He's looking to get into the 36 tier, not into the 35. If he completely messes that sector up. Oh, he turned in too early and he's got on the curb. It's going to hurt his line through here. I know all the lines around this track. I've known this track with my eyes shut. But I certainly can't drive with it. And it's only 36.9, so he hasn't improved by 6 tenths, but hasn't even improved a single position because the gaps are so large. And not many people have done laps so far, and Sant's just pips in the P11, which goes down to P12. I think Pete's just done a 36.8, and lap times are not as quick as expected. I was expecting a little bit quicker, but I was expecting some people to get more people to be in those sort of low 36s, I was expecting. Which are, well, low 36s, I think it's a respectable lap time. I think most of Tier 2 was in the sort of mid 34s, so I was expecting Tier 3 to be in the low to mid 35s. Which I expect not to decrease, but obviously we all know Tier 3, I think, also looks at, does have a bit more of a wider range of drivers in terms of abilities. So it's always a bit of that's always the case as well. Also for information, most likely, if Alpine get a good result today, they will be champions in this race with one race to go, going to Brazil. And the Mazepin and Fresh gap in the championship is 11 points. So, well, Fresh needs to win this race ahead of Mazepin, or hope Mazepin has a bad race or crashes or something like that to try and get that point back down towards Brazil. Obviously 7 points will bring it down to 4 points. If Mazepin Fresh wins the next 2 races, he's won the less where Mazepin finishes. It's also always going to be a bit nice if he can get a bit more points than that. This guy sentence 4 tenths up on his lap coming towards the line. It's a 35.9, so another 35 in the bag, which is good to see. Pete's invalidated in the pit lane. Sant just I think he's just completed a lap, I think. Tovar's invalidated. Chris mounting the curb coming through this last sector. Bit of a silly corner. Says you don't need too much curve, you don't need to be on that orange one, that's for sure. It's just a very dangerous place to be. And it comes across the line, so 36.4, puts him up into P6. Obviously, very respectful lap there. It's coming across our track ended turn 1, but I think that's his lap over, unless he's trying to go for another one, which is just invalidated. But Mazepin, he's a 10th and a half up. I think Maldi might be doing 2 runs here. I think he wants to save an extra soft. I think some people might be doing 2 runs here to 3, because some people might want to do the soft, medium, soft strategy. If you stop one stop, it's going to be mixed as Mazepin. Mazepin's gone. She was 1.5 tenths up through the second sector, and he's crashed backwards. He has got enough time to come back into the pits and do another lap, but he's got to do it quickly. Only got 4 minutes to go, and that was a very strange one. That was. I mean, he didn't get on the curb or anything. He just lost it completely by himself into a corner. You think it'd be quite easy flat. It's generally quite an understeery corner, that is. And she just put too much power down too quickly, and it just didn't handle it. Yeah, it's on that Matador's on the lap here. Tasco's P9. More yellow flags. I think that's now for Romeo running out of fuel in the third sector. I think that might be. That might be Chris. So Amatel goes cross line, improves by 1.6 seconds. Puts him into P9 ahead of Citas, who just got into P9 for a second there. Hitting Viper's backed out. I think he's just done his lap. He's another person who's got into the 35s. Just ahead of Sentinels. Fresh is out at turn 3. And that is not what he needs for his championship hopes. And he's binned it in qualifying. And if you're going to bin it in qualifying there, then the race is not going to be nice for you. You might want to knock that front wing down a couple of notches if I was him. Just for that corner alone, because well, crashing is going to cost you more than just having a couple of understeering moments. So that's going to be crucial for this race. Mazepin's up in first place. If Mazepin wins this race and Fresh gets second, I mean that's going to be up to 18 points, and at that point you're pretty much hoping, well, Mazepin crashes out of Brazil. Brazil's not exactly a track you really crash at, to be honest. I mean, there isn't anywhere really to crash at Brazil. There isn't any barriers. Actually, someone managed to spin it through the back straight. Well, in the back straight, I mean the straight that goes up towards the main straight. You know what I mean? That awkward double curb apex left-hander flat out section which goes up the hill. I don't know. But yeah, Sentin's on that, but he's half a second down, so he's not improving. Viper's obviously on his eye on his in lap. His qualifying done. There's a couple of cars cruising to the side lane and a Red Bull through. I wonder who that is. That might be, no, it's Trickyauk, who never seems to have the ability to do a qualifying lap. And even when he does, he still doesn't do one anyway. But it looks like he might actually get a lap in here for once in his life. I never ever see him even do a qualifying lap. Every time I go into qualifying, it's always him at the bottom with no qualifying lap done at all. He's done it cleanly. He's a bit clumsy. He's gone wide. He can get away with him invalidating that right there. Luckily, it was just going a bit, just about slow enough to the point where he didn't quite get a track extend. In this corner, very silly section. It's just So easy to do to just break yourself into that corner. Through this very finicky section that Kirby is validated. I called it. He's still not going to be able to do a lap hit, so it looks like Trickout's going to have his another race, another qualifying session with no lap on the leaderboards. The thing is, he just doesn't come out for half the session, and when he does come out, he validates it, and then that's it. Torpedo is on a lap here, coming around the last 2 corners. Very, very cautious through there. Into his last corner, turning very early for this corner. Oh, you want to hit that curve on the inside? That's a bit of a danger zone. And he's 9/10 down. I think he's going over 9. Well, say he's going to go another lap, but got 14.50, got 19% ERS left, so he's not doing another lap here. We've got Gerst Reese has gone out for Romeo in the way. He's always lost the rear end, and it's not going to help him as he pops up into P5. But that last corner definitely hurt him. He could have got P. He could have got at least P2 there, as Maldi's on his lap now. It's still on board Maldi's. Most people have completed their laps. And there you go, session done. I think the only people might be still on lap here. Probably people like Chris, maybe Pete. I think that might be Pete coming through the last sector. It is. Go on Pete. I'm going to go back into Maldi when he comes through that 3rd sector. I'd like to see what Pete does through his last corner. He don't know what his delta is. He could be improving. He's got to gain quite a big gap. He's got up to P5. So not too bad by him. Let's get back down to Maldi. He's the next person to cross the line. He's 3.5 tenths up. Maldi's 3.5 tenths up. Maldi's on for pole position here. Hey, in Abu Dhabi, if he gets this last sector done, he does it nicely. Hooks the curve up nicely. Doesn't bounce over it. Got the car just about hooked in. Just don't track extend it, Maldi. Very easy to do. Coming around to the last 2 corners, you don't want to worry in too hard. No, once took out that 50 brake meter board for the second to last corner, which I am doing on my first lap out, and it's a 35.3. Maldi's just absolutely swiped the whole field and got pole position. Something that I can't do, but then again, you got 2 tier 1 drivers in the tier 2 lobby, so it doesn't really work that way. But yeah, I did qualify P3, so doing technically means I did get pole position. But yeah, anyway, let's put my ego to the side. Maldi on pole position, and I don't think anyone's going to beat it. I don't think Chris is anywhere near it. He's second down, and Alpha's in the pits, and that's Maldi, a confirmed pole position for STB Maldi at the track of the Yas Marina circuit. In Yas Marina, in the United Arab Emirates. Forgot the Arab United. So, brilliant lap there by Maldi. And that's your qualifying over. Interesting to see what people do with strategies for the race. And here is your final positions. They're going to be quite a lot more spread out than I thought it would be, to be honest. I mean, the top 10 split by 1.6 seconds. So, but yeah, Maldi, I don't know why he still forgot to change his nationality. He's put on Pakistani on accident. Maldi on pole position. And I've got to do this quickly because only 15 seconds left. We've got Mazepin in second, Viper in third, Senti in fourth, Pete fifth, Breeze 6th, Fresh down in P7. It's going to hurt him for the championship fight against Mazepin. Chris 8th, Alpha 9th, Matador 10th, Chrissy just 11th, Buffalo 12th, Torpedo 13th, Andrea 14th, Tovar 15th, and about 3 more drivers. I think about 4 drivers, and I think 3 of them are Spanish. Let me check the race director up just to make sure. Yeah, Andrea does P14, Tovar P15, Sant P6. Yep, top 3 are Spanish. Sant, Papadels, and Trickyalk again, who's unable to do a lap in qualifying. So that is your leaderboard. That is your lineup. So to wait for the cars to wind themselves up. Sort out their setups, any adjustments they want to make, maybe some off diff, maybe a bit of front wing adjustments, some tyre pressures if you can change them. I can't remember if you can during the race, before the race. I'm not sure if you can. You definitely change the front wing and the diff, that's for sure. But yeah, but I think people, something's ready up. So coming to formation, this is the sort of conditions Maldi would have hoped yesterday. It was overcast yesterday in the Tier 2 race, and he wasn't quite happy about it. Because he wanted to see this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful twilight race. Setting sunset, 3 times time progression. It'll be dark about lap 14. And off we go for the formation lap. Maloney's got to do his formation lap start. Just quickly go everything back up. Has come to start their formation laps. Obviously, more position, Mazepin down in P2 after that. The whole track has already been disqualified with Android. How the hell did they clash? There's 3 cars in between them. How did that happen? I was saying Papa was actually struggling, and that Rissy Buffalo all the way back there. Is that Matador? What is Rissy Buffalo doing back there? Did you ever spin or something? I don't know. I'm baffled. Ali's leading away right now. He's not going too quickly. He's going to slow it down now. You've got Mazepin's driving alongside him. You think he's going to be the race. I don't know what Mazepin's doing. You can give all the room you want. And there's strategy. Yep, soft, medium, or soft, medium. Might be expecting some people in the bottom 8 cars to possibly go on to a set, maybe start on the mediums and maybe try and make a one-stop work, which you saw Dan Souza do yesterday from mediums onto softs. It just seemed to work really well. And then by the time he pitted, it was the safety car was coming, it came out, so it worked out perfectly for him. The safety car came in about lap 20, about 18, 19, I think. Oh, and somebody hit the back of somebody. I think that might be Pete or Sentin. It's Viper. Viper's out. I think it might be Sentin. In the clash with Viper's disqualified in the session. I'm not sure how the tyre temperatures get affected because I never get disqualified and qualified in the formation lap because I actually give room to other people. This sort of stuff happens in all 3 tiers. Like, what's going on here? Why are we going side by side? Yep, and that's exactly what I was talking about. One breaks Jake to the other one, and then one's get disqualified. Mercedes hit the red AlphaTauri. Now Fresh is going to get disqualified now because of that. And isn't just Grace Reese. I don't know how to say that name. Giras. I'm just calling Riz. It's just easier. Anyway, Maldi's trying to really back them up right now. He's trying to. I don't know what Buffalo's doing. I know he didn't have any practice or anything, but bloody hell, what's he trying to do? As he comes out of the last corners, the AI always seems to take out that Ballard. Just proves that the AI are glitched as absolutely mad at the fact they're taking a corner where they're taking out the Ballard, if that's their racing line. I'm not sure it's going to be a 3-stop, to be honest. No, my tyre yesterday probably would have been better to do a 3-stop. But yeah, we've got Pete in P5 lining up. We've got the rest of the cars training up as they're quite close. I've got Torpedo and a set of hards. Now that really brain fuzzles me. That Haas is teleporting into a slot. As it's coming to 5 lights. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. It's lights out. And away we go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And then Maldi's had a shocking start as Mazepin's just fly past him, and Maldi's not having any of that. He's going to try and get a position, but the AlphaTauri's gone off the circuit and around the outside of Maldi as there's been a collisions at the back. Chris is out already at the exit of turn 1. Is there going to be a safety car? Is a virtual safety car. So, oh no, it was a terrible, terrible start by Maldi. It's turned into a full safety car. Stunt's been given a 5-second time penalty for collision with Trickyard. And I wonder if anyone's going to try and switch their strategy up here. I think this might be a good sort of time to try and, well, I say switch to a 1-stop, but effectively, well, you're doing a 2-stop, but effectively switch to a theoretical 1-stop by pitting in the first lap onto the safety car, strap a set of mediums on, go to lap like 18 or something. Obviously, the tyres are going to be a little bit fresher because I haven't done the formation lap, and I haven't done this first lap either. So I think anyone's got damage, you can strap on a set of mediums and then go softs to the end. So I mean, it depends if they want to make that risk. And I think the leaders will want to, because I'll just get held up dramatically. Yeah, got a Torpedo on the hards, which is very, very strange. It's not a tyre you want to be on. The tyre is about 1.3 seconds slower than the mediums. Like it's slow, and it doesn't quite have the endurance over the mediums as much as you think it would have. The mediums can do about 18, 20 laps. The hards can do about 22, 24. So it's not like you're going to do much more laps. I mean, if you want to do 24 laps, maybe I'll just hit on the mediums and try and make them go to the end. But you just have so much grip towards the start of the race to the point where you just gain all that time anyway during that starting slot anyway on those fresh mediums. No one's pitting. Not too surprised. Anyone going to dip into pits? There Williams is. Pete's in the pits. Pete's going for it. He's going for that risky move. I mean, he's going to lose about 4 or 5 places. Looks like no one else is pitting. Well, let's see what tyres he goes on. I'm presuming a set of... don't think the hard is the way to go. I will say a set of mediums. Yes, it is a set of mediums. Set of mediums playing nicely onto a point where he's effectively going to do a one. So he's going to get 3 pits up out of it, effectively. He will close back up to the rest of the grid. He will now try and make those tyres do about 17 laps. For Cetas, has disconnected from the session. He's retired. So, didn't realise for Cetas even retired, to be honest. I thought it was just Chris. And Tovar's overtaking Reese under the safety car, which I'm not sure why he's doing. Oh, and that's not comfortable. I want to be in that situation. And we've got... Oh, Fresh has nearly spun it through the chicane. If he lost it there, he would have lost multiple positions. And Chris Reese got 5 second time place for ignoring your flags. Is he trying to overtake people? What's he trying to do with Tovar here? He's quite clearly not supposed to have that place. Why are you trying to re-overtake him? I do not know. Maybe he lost the position to Tovar and he's trying to get back past, but then he realised the game's not allowing him because I think he made a mistake, which allowed Tovar to overtake him. And now Reese is trying to re-overtake him, but the game's like, no, hold on, you're trying to overtake him with the yellow flags, you made a mistake. Just like what Perez did back in Imola, when he had his own little moment, he lost about 3 positions, and he regained them back, and then got penalised for doing so. It's the same situation here. Exact same situation. Safety car will not be in this lap, so we're waiting for Saint, which is strapped on a fresh set of soft, medium, sorry. Might take him about 5 laps to catch up. Mazepin will lead the way. Maldi's not going to be happy. Maldi's going to be absolutely fuming after that start. It was an absolute... Oh, Maldi! Whoa! I don't even know what he's trying to do. I don't know why he would do that. I mean, if Maldi pit, he would drop down behind Pete. I mean, that's a... Even if Maldi did want to pit, I think it would be better if you just rather jump off a cliff. Because that's what effectively you're doing. You're putting yourself right to the point where there's no point even racing. It's not worth... I mean, if you lost about 5 or 6 places, then yeah, but not drop down pretty much to the back of the grid. It's just not worth it. Anyway, Mazepin's away. Safe car will be on this lap because it's been 3 laps. The safety car didn't come in after 3 laps. Let me go further. I think I might fall asleep. And this is why the safety car on lap 1 is the worst thing since sliced bread. Because you don't have a tier 1 battle at the start, you don't have any jumbled positions. Safety car, it's all single file and it's all organised. But when it's a 4-race start, people are just linking positions, everyone's really close to each other, they're all trying to go side by side, and it makes it much more fun. And this has just ruined it. I don't like how you keep having safety car on lap 1. We need to stop having these collisions and lap 1 so we can get a clean start, so I can actually have something to commentate about. Instead of mumbling on about tyre strategies when I'm just not even, people can't even understand what I'm saying. Astor's actually into side P8 here. What position do you start? P10. He's actually, I thought he was, I didn't realise I actually did quite decent in that qualifying session. Maldi's left the session. Maldi's left the session. We need to get him back in. We need to get Maldi back in here. A few gamer cards. We need to get him back in right now before that session. We need to get him back in. I'm pretty sure Bramley will be helping him to do that as well. He needs to get him back in before that safety car restart. He's got about 20-30 seconds before Mazepin will probably launch it out of the last corner. Or the second to last corner. It's a long safety car restart, this is. The safety car comes in quite early because it comes out right. It comes in. Oh yeah, and that's announced when the third sector starts. But the third sector is probably very, very long. It's like 40 seconds long this last sector is, so it gives you a lot of time. Vote to catch up with Maldi, and he's got to get his place back. He needs to get as quickly as possible. I haven't seen him join yet, so I don't know. Mazepin's not going yet. Don't know why everyone's pushing. They're not going yet. I don't know why they're pushing or what is going on here. They're all trying to push, but they haven't gone. Now he's gone. Now he's gone at the last corner. Maldi's going to start losing positions here because he is not driving that car. The AI is set to 70. As Mazepin navigates his way through, Maldi's dropped 2 places already. The guys can just drive through him, and the AI will back out just like that. Unless Fresh does exactly what that was. And the safety car. Oh! And Alpha slowed down in the back, and then now Reese has now got no front wing. Tovar's left the session as well. Matt Fresh has got a 5-second time penalty with no yellow flags. I have no clue what just happened there. I don't even know who left. Waiting for Tovar. Tovar's the one to disconnect as well. Maldi's struggling, I think, to get back in. It's taking a while to do so. We need to get Tovar back in. Invite to game. There's people disconnecting like mad, and Maldi's down to 6th place. His AI is dropping massively. Reese is trying to navigate his way through on us with no front wing. Oh, and the McLaren's gone into the side of him, and Alpha's round. Esteban's back in the lobby, but it's going to take only a few seconds to get back into that car as people are crashing all around him. Reese is now struggling as Mazepin and Viper are pulling the gap to Sky Centre. Oh, there's another clash. I swear I saw another car go round. I think that's just the Mercedes holding everyone up. Maldi's lost another position here. He's falling down the grid. AI does not know what to do. It's not what is going on. This Mercedes is creating havoc everywhere. He's got no front wing. He's struggling a lot. And that McLaren is just basically pushing Papadopoulos off the track as Mitzi Buffalo charges his way through. As they lead the way, Mazepin and Viper. As he goes into the pits, finally, that was a horrible cut sector that was. Oh, Fresh need losers, and that's Sentin's area. Sentin nearly lost it there. Oh, he saw that slide from that camera angle. He saw that slide, and as yellow flags as a virtual safety car, this will help Reese in terms of reducing the deficit in terms of that flowing, and that will definitely help someone like Maldi. He's just got back into his car. He's dropped down to P10 because of that. And that's going to kill him now. He's going to be fuming. He would have hoped this had been a full safety car. Look at the gap. Because of that damage that Mercedes had, there's an 8-second gap. And Matador's going really slow. He's really losing time. What's he going so slow for? But I don't know. He says that was a confusing session of madness. That was. Yeah, I just want to do. The AI used to be cars going this slow on the virtual safety car. And I thought I was not get back up already. So, not sure how long this virtual safety car. Virtual safety car could be on for another minute. It could be gone in about 2 seconds. For all I know, we don't know how long it's going to last. I think the game is just kind of random. Sometimes the virtual safety car lasts like 15 seconds. But if it stays out for a little longer, I think some people might be changing. Oh, it's command pits, and Alpha's got a drive-through penalty. And he's already lost gain of position on Richie Buffalo, but that's probably because of the reason behind it. He's got such a good start. Maldi's got past Trick Yalk already. DRS is now enabled for like the first time. Quick sip of the drink. He's going to navigate through as the top 4 pulls away from the rest of the grid as Matadors leading that way in P5. Driving a solid race, there's a big gap. The car behind Pete's had a terrible restart. I think it's the proper Devils holding him up, to be honest. Pete's on fresh tyres, so Pete, I think, might be in a good position here to get a good podium. If he can get those tyres to make a sort of effective one-stop work, then I think he's on for a podium here, because these guys have still got to pit once, maybe twice. He's got to pit once. Papadevil's gone wide, and Pete's making a decision to go through. But will he have DRS? He does have DRS. Papadevils won't have DRS, which means Maldi is going to be looking to overtake Papadevils maybe into this straight or the next straight. Papadevils defending. And we've also got Maldi's also going side by side with Trick Yalk. Trick Yalk has made a move on Maldi. Maldi's going to have to try and take a track on him. Papadevils gets overtaken by absolutely everyone. Maldi now has to try and get past Trick Yalk. But He's always got DRS. Trickhouse not using the overtake, and now he is. Maldi's might try and go for an audacious move, but he can't because of the Williams right there. Trickhouse going to hit the back of him. Trickhouse hit the back of the Williams, and now he's got damage. He's got damage from it. He's outbraked himself, and he's not aware how late he broke. Trying to defend from Maldi, he was unaware how close he was getting to the back of the Pete, and he's lost that position from Maldi. Maldi's going to be really glad that happened. It's just another car getting out of his way. He's not sure how he got alongside Maldi, to be honest. I don't think Maldi was really pushing to that corner, but he just outbroke himself. He's too busy staring at Maldi and not what's going on in front of him, and he outbroke himself. And well, Pete can brake when he wants. He obviously didn't brake early or anything, but I don't think Trickhouse was really going to make the corner. And into the pits he goes. That Sky sent in for. He's got a penalty to do. He's gone to set mediums. Lap 6. Some people are pitting as well. Trickhouse was in the pits, obviously. Oh, torpedoes around! He spun the best way. Those hards are not nice. You don't want to do that. That's going to burn out those rear tyres. It was just a completely unnecessary spin. I mean, it's just not a nice corner, but he spun the correct way. If you're going to spin it, at least spin it left, so you've got about 5 million miles of room to spin at. But if you do it the other way, you're just going to hit the barrier straight off. Maldi is now looking to try to overtake Pete, but Pete's on more newer medium tyres. Those softs are going to start going off soon. Pete's in a real solid position, but he needs to catch up to the top 10 as Andra does retired. Where's he crashed? He's crashed at turn 1. Is that in the pit lane? Was that? No, it's on track, and he's crashed into the full safety car, and this is our effectively our third safety car, and it's lap 7. We've had a safety car from lap 1 to lap 3. We've had a virtual safety car laps 5, and now we've had the full safety car again lap 7. And now everyone's going to peel into the pits. Absolutely everyone's going to peel into the pits without hesitation. Mazepin can come back out in the lead here. Yep, he's coming to pits and say, you're dumb if you don't. Oh, if you didn't pit, you might be the most dumbest person alive. Obviously, Fresh is in. Now I just have to worry about backing up because Fresh is already sufficient a gap ahead. It's not losing too much time. So Matador's in, obviously. Pete's going to stay out. He's thought about it. It's going slow. He's thinking, I'm going to have to stay out here. He wants to continue. Mazepin's onto the hards. Okay, Fresh onto the hards. That's a strange call. Now that is what I was not expecting. Maldi into the pits for certain mediums. That's the start tyres I was expecting to go onto those cars. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Those hards are very, very slow. And I do not give you that durability advantage. And he's just about, McLaren's just got ahead of Fresh there. And there's just Fresh one position less than Fresh wanted to lose. As Maldi comes to the pits as well. So is Trickhouse. Obviously, he's already done his pit stop, but I don't think he's going to get much more than that. Toval's back on a set of softs, so I wonder if that's the AI. AI is just going to do the default strategy. I have invited him back, but I don't know. There's Grizz Reese's pits for the second time this race already. After that spin and drive-through penalty on that 5-second time penalty, which has now been removed, he can get back on his way. Torpedo on the set of hards, which I'm surprised he isn't pitted for a set of mediums or something to go to the end. I think mediums could probably just about go to the end from here, especially with the safety car. But we'll see. But it's Mazepin. Those tyres can go quite easily to the end, but as soon as everyone else straps on a set of softs towards the end or a new set of mediums, everyone else is going to be about 4 seconds a lap faster. No hesitation needed to saying that. A set of softs is about 2 seconds a lap faster than me hards. Now think about those hards that I've already done about 12 laps. That's another 2 seconds onto that. Those tyres are going to be super slow towards the end compared to everyone else when they strap on another set of tyres. I don't think people are going to the end on these mediums. I just don't think the hards are really the way to go. It's a bit like using the hards at Mexico. It's just not quite the right tyre to be on. It's just a bit slow. So what you can say. Maldi and Sentin will try and have to navigate through these hard runners, use those grip on those mediums while they have it. As Sentin's using a lot of weaving to keep the temperature up in those tyres, so they'll do so much more often. The grease is catching up to the back of the grids here. Safety car will probably be in this end of this lap. Who's doing the best way to catch up back to the grid, or back up to the queue, and that's by doing it nice and slowly. Save those tyres. No point pushing because you're not going to get anything from it. Take as long as you want on your safety car restart, as long as you make it to the safety car line, the safety car train before the safety car comes back in. That is very useful. But yeah, Pete leads the way, but he's on 6-lap on mediums. He's gonna help him with this sort of effective one-stop strategy. Like I say, he pitted under the safety car on the first one. He's going to make those tyres last. He's going to have to try and hold off a lot of cars behind him on fresh tyres. But he effectively now is on a similar sort of strategy to everyone else. Like, he's going to come into the softs, but he's going to pit a little bit earlier, obviously, because of those warm tyres. Safety car is in this lap. So, yeah. Safety car in this lap. Pete Lee will lead the way. He's going to have to hold on those tyres for another good 10 laps before he pits again. It'll be the same with everyone else around him. Maybe they'll go a bit longer to go on to the softs a bit later on, just to try and make those softs last a bit longer, easier to the race, because obviously you don't want to do 12 laps on a set of softs. It just doesn't quite work. I'm curious to how these hards go, but you might say it might be the best tyre to go on, but trust me, at the end of the race, you'd be so slow when everyone else puts a new fresh set of tyres on. Even if your pit stop behind them when they pit, they'll still catch up that 20-second gap within about 10 laps. No problem at all. Pete will go when he wants. He will launch it when he wants to. The safety car is peeled in. He's going to go launch it, I'm guessing, out of the last corner. And there he goes. He's gone. He's gone. Viper's going to follow him. Mazepin will follow on those hard tyres. See how they go. Papadopoulos in P4 and Sant P5 is going to be interesting. And Sant's just gone straight out wide. Torpedo is going to take advantage of this. And up into P5 he goes. Obviously compromises the line. Hard's not looking too nice, to be honest. Fresh is obviously going to make mincemeat to Sant here. Nope, Sant makes a defensive manoeuvre, and that's Maldi. And that's like Sentin up the inside. I wonder if Fresh got damage from that. Sant is really trying to make life difficult for these guys. And, well, Sant's on all driver. Maldi's getting involved in this as well. So there's a big kerfuffle going on here. Maldi's on the back really trying to push. Always raining that overtake. But if they're all using it, then what's the point even anyone using it at all? As Fresh doesn't go inside and Sentin. Oh, never mind. Sant goes really wide and Fresh just wheel bashes him around the outside. Maldi's trying to make a move. But at the same time, Sentin's trying to make a move. And Maldi needs to get back in that slipstream. And Sentin's looking to make a move here on the fresher mediums. Up the inside he goes. Sant's going to try to make the move. He's going to hold it around the outside. Sentin's going to force him off. Sant has to back out. Maldi's got caught out badly for it. And the Red Bull's gone for the circuit. But Sant just pushes him off. But Maldi's lost another position. Tricked out, gone straight around the outside of him. Maldi's going to crash. Maldi's binned it. Maldi has binned it. And it's not exactly, you might think it was a strange place to crash, but trust me, I've done it a couple of times myself. Yeah, I think what happened there is that he turned and braked at the same time, and the car just over-rotates, and the car can't take the grip. Talk about taking the grip, Mazepin looked very iffy on that line through there. Two cars out in the same lap, same time. There's only another safety car. I mean, I've only got like 2 left. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about Maldi. He was probably a little bit irritated at what happens, but, well, yeah, I mean, his race was over. His race was already ruined after he disconnected, but it just got worse from now on. Sounds like something that will happen to me. Anyway, Viper is over to Pete. Pete obviously on those worn mediums, obviously struggling a little bit more. Mazepin on those hards. Looks like the strategy might work. Because now Maldi's out, this race between Mazepin and Fresh just got a lot easier for them. Obviously, we've got Viper that far off the grid. All Viper needs to do now is just build a gap. While he's got those medium tyres on, push, try and pull a gap on Mazepin while they're on that slower hard tyres. Build a nice little gap. Strap on another set of mediums or another set of softs, and they'd be flying compared to Mazepin and Fresh on those hards. So those hards will be so slow compared to a Fresh air soft. I don't know how many times I said that already. As Reese is making a move on Papa Devils, Santa Papa Devils has dropped Santa. I think he's had a spin somewhere. He's all the way down here now, unless he's lost all those positions on complete merit. I'm not sure that really merit's the right word to use. Papa Devils is also down, despite using about 1300 kilowatts. So Alpha's gone slow. Oh, he's got the damage, and he's turned into the Aston Martin. He's took himself out of the race. There's another safety car. What is happening? This is our 4th safety car. We're not even halfway through the race yet. What is going on? Really confused. What is going on in this race? There is no interest in a simple, clean race right now. It's just clumsy collisions and just misjudgments. It's everything that's happened right now. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Another safety car. I wonder what Pete would do now. I mean, if I was Pete, I think I'd pit for another set of mediums and go to the end. I mean, there's only one more safety car left, and there's another safety car. I can always pit in for a set of softs. But if I was Pete, I'd pit now. There's no point staying out on 9-lap old mediums, because he would have to pit in about 4 or 5 laps anyway. Van Nilsen's also left as well. Van Nilsen's race engineering is over earlier than expected. On STB Maldim, yep, Pete in the pits, unsurprisingly. It's not like he's got, there's quite big gaps behind him, so he might even not use that many positions. Viper's also in the pits. I think this would be a good time for them. And Mazepin stays out, and this is the biggest regret they've probably ever made. That's the worst thing. On to these guys are going to be on fresh softs now. These guys are going to be on fresh medium tyres. They're going to be quick compared to those hard runners now. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to make a tongue twister for the rest of this race. Fresh and Mazepin fighting for the championship. 11 points between them coming into this race. And now they've got, well, Sentin has decided not to pit, which means he's committing to a soft tyre towards the end. But the thing is, he's going to lose a lot of time pitting when he does get into the pits. I think Viper and Pete done the correct strategy there. Getting rid of those mediums, strapping another set of mediums, and those tyres will now quite comfortably will get them to the end of this race. But now Mazepin and Fresh, yeah, they think, oh yeah, they can just do their own battle, but don't forget, you've got Viper and Pete on those fresh mediums are going to be very quick. Those tyres are going to be a good second and a half lap faster without any issues at all. Just need to get past Sentin. I just hope we can make this more than just a two-way battle. Just like in Tier 2, there's also a two-way battle. There's always a two-way battle. There's never a 3 or 4-way battle. It's always 2. Or one car just leads the way and then it's just, well, just fucks off. Sorry for my language there again. Then again, Maldi does it all the time in the other commentaries anyway, so nothing to worry about. Torpedo still, after 2 safety cars and a virtual safety car, he's still on those same hards because he's not getting to the end on those tyres. Because, well, I think he pinned on lap 1 onto those tyres. I mean, he can go to the ends, but what's he going to gain from it? No one else decides to pit. I'm not saying that Torpedo is in the pits now. He's finally made the decision. It's too late now. He's going to lose those positions to Tovar, Papadopoulos and Sant. So those positions are going to be given up, but he will be on it. Do they have soft tyres? Well, he's just screwed himself over, hasn't he? Those softs will not go to the end. I'm sorry, but they won't. Safety car will come in at the end of his lap probably. Those tyres will not do 13, 14 laps. They'll be done by about lap 11. Well, I mean done, I mean he won't keep on the track. Those tyres can do no more than about 12 laps. And he's asking to do 13, 14 on them. That's not the great strategy to do. I mean, it'd be rapid, but I don't think it's going to be enough though. I think it'd just be too slow. If it was up 16, then if we pitted, then yeah, maybe yeah, because you're pushing it, but it's not like you're pushing the limits too much. But this is just, I think, 14 laps and saying softs is just, well, that's half a race on those tyres. On tyres that, well, gobble themselves up after about 8 laps. Let's get this safety car out of the way and we can get some actual running in, because I've only had about 3 laps of actual running. Lap 1 to lap 3 was safety car, whereas lap 4 lap 5 was racing. The safety car came out on lap 6. And then we've had another safety car came out about lap, I think it must have been about lap 10. Came in lap 12. We've had like a lap of racing then we've had another safety car, now lap 14. Roughly, I don't know exactly when that happened, but I'm saying this is our 4th safety car, including the virtual safety car. So 3 full safety cars and 1 safety car, and it's lap 14. About 90%, about 80%, about 3/4 of this race so far has been a safety car. So, Mazepin will control his pace. Sentin's going to look to get close to them if he wants to try and still fight for the podium, but he's got to pit again. He's not getting those stars to the end, so he needs to find a way through Fresh and Mazepin and try and get a gap, because if he's stuck behind those guys, he's going to be a pit stop behind them when he comes to make his pit stop. And they've gone. Alpha's disconnected. I know Alpha crashed, didn't they? So I just see somebody leave and expecting to be a disconnection. As Mazepin and Fresh goes the other way, Sentin struggling a lot. Little Haas and Matador having a bit of a moment through turn 1. If they all navigate through there, Fresh has gone wide. No one's got really got penalties yet, because we've not had enough racing to get the penalties, to get those penalties in. Everyone navigates through the chicane as Viper's taking a very wide entry, but he's going to get a good exit here. Out of the last corner, Sentin's going to be a DRS. Viper's a bit closer back at Sentin, but Sentin's also drained his DRS, and well, Viper's backed off it. And Sentin decided to use his DRS all the way down the straight. He's not turned it off. And now he has. Well, he's used all the extra. He's used about 20% extra overtake, and yet Viper's still on the back of him anyway. I mean, he's going to use all his deployment top at this rate if he isn't careful. No DRS, which makes it a little bit difficult. Don't want to take that line, Viper. That's going to be a warning by going that wide through that corner. As they all navigate through. If that camera was fixed, that'd be a nice camera angle, that would be. Oh, he's going around the outside. Sensing around the outside. Viper's actually on the inside there, trying to make a move. As Gires Reed's gone wide of that corner. It's not going to help him. As Sentin's keeping up these hard runners right now. Those hards, as I said, they're not great on this track as they all navigate through. They finally got. Oh, he's gone wide. He's gone wide. He's not going to be doing too many of them. I mean, his tyres are going to be going off soon. He's going to have to pit in the next couple of laps or so. See him struggling through that section. But he's got more grip than the guys ahead of him now. And he's trying to go around the outside of Fresh, but that's not going to work. He's a bit too far behind to try and force Fresh into making a mistake. Viper's dive bombed it up the inside. He's caught himself out because his Fresh is still there. You can't make a dive bomb like that when you've got another car ahead of them. And there's no DRS still. We're still going to wait another lap for the DRS to be activated. So no DRS till then. You need to manage the ERS here. Viper's round. I think he hit the back of Sentin. And he's reset his car to track. He's going to watch out those tyres will be hot, but he's got back ahead of Master. We'll have to double check on that. I'm not sure. I don't actually know what the rules are in terms of thingamajig, and Viper's, well, it's just not having anything of it. Buffalo's done, by the way, Buffalo's done 0 practice. He's literally not played the game for 2 weeks. He's jumping on into one of the most difficult tracks, and he's doing alright right now. Viper does have a penalty, and that's hurting now. Now it's all up to Pete now to make that, to replace him, make that car. That's just going to make Fresh and Mazepin's life a lot easier now because of that. Pete needs to get past Geraint Ras, but Sky Sentin's got a penalty. Oh, Geraint Ras had a mistake. Pete, I think with those fresh and soft tyres, fresh and medium tyres, he's gonna. I think if I was I'll just wait until DRS opens and just breeze past him that way. There's no point in battling here because you're going to lose more time. Then you'll lose DRS. So yeah, just don't lose the rear end through here, Pete. On that dirty air, we all know what it's like to go for that corner. Just sit behind it for now. As Leia's not really fighting too hard. I'd like a new camera angle, please, Co-Masters. Thank you. Now Pete, it should be an easy move. Got Viper also following him. Should be an easy move. Geraint Ras not going to have a single chance. Viper is just grinding his time. There's no point in him making a move. Oh, and I think Geraint Ras is trying to make it earlier. Viper taking a nice line here to line himself up. Geraint Ras will have DRS himself. Both are draining and overtake. Viper can't afford to do much of that. Geraint Ras is making a move on Pete. But Pete's not going to have any of that. He's just going to, do that, and Viper's going to get caught out from it. And that's going to corner cut. You can't be doing too many more than Viper. You've already got a penalty already. You've got to be careful. Oh, and that door looks like he's cold. Looks like it's a bit of a mid-corner rift. Oh! What happened there? I think Papadopoulos went to dive bomb the AI and it didn't go very well. I mean, it's ghosting, so you can just drive through like normal. So not sure why Papadopoulos dive bombed it for. Pete now up to P4. He's going to catch up that gap, so that DRS has helped him. This is putting back. He's coming. He needs to get back within DRS here. Look how much quicker he is on those fresh mediums. He's got that gap down to 1 second already. Sentin's going to pit in the next couple of laps. He's not going to get those tyres at the end, and unless those safety cars have helped him so much to the point where he doesn't actually have to pit again, because he's probably done about 6 laps of safety car conditions on those tyres. So we see a lot. Viper's getting his way through here. I mean, the problem is now he's not going to have any DRS coming into this section, which means Geraint Ras is going to be back all over the back of him here, unless Viper's going to play a bit of game here, laying back through into this section. But then again, Geraint Ras on the poor exit. Viper's not having anything of it. He's making sure that he's getting that move. Sky Sentin looks like Fresh. Mazepin made a move on Mazepin. Sky Sentin's around the outside of Fresh as they have a bit of contact. As Fresh takes his usual line and Sentin has to back out. Now Pete's already on the back of this now, and Sky Sentin's got almost no ERS at all. Fresh is making the move on Mazepin. This is for the championship fight. He's made the move stick. No much fight here on those hard runners. I'm going to go off that camera angle. Get off it, please. Thank you. Sky Sentin on those medium tyres. Looking back, but Pete and Matt Viper on fresh and medium tyres are looking down on him now. Let's look to try and make a move. I'm not sure whether Sky Sentin's stalled. I don't know if he's in the pit yet. We'll know within about 2 or 3 laps time whether Sky Sentin will pit or not. Continues to stay out for now. It's a good race for him so far. Couldn't run in P3 and P4, but that could change later on in the race. 5% the fastest lap of the race, so just proves how quick those tyres are compared to the leaders. Sky Sentin actually lost a bit of time to leaders here. He's struggling. Starting to struggle, I think, now. And now Pete's all at the back of him. Is he going to make a move? No, it's just a silly corner. If this is the new turn 5 hairpin, I think people will definitely be looking at a little cheeky dive bomb into that corner, but obviously K-Masters are too lazy to make the game. Sky Sentin is not going to have much ERS here. You can see his light flashing. Pete was seeing that and thinking he's low on ERS. Making a move now. He is awesome. Fresh as Mazepin's going back past. These guys are just training positions, but not really fighting to each other too hard. The Williams guys can't lie. Oh, Pete lost the rear end. You can't do that. You can't put the power down. The exit corner and Viper's done the exact same. That's hurting now. Sky Sentinel on the back of Fresh, but Fresh and Sky Sentinel got no rest at all. Fresh, Mazepin's so good on his ERS. Fresh is not so good on his ERS, to be honest. Pete needs to be careful here. Sentin's going to get close to there, and Pete's going to make the move. He's going to take advantage of this. Sky Sentin has got the ERS to do it side by side, and Pete's backed out. But he's Pete backed out, and I think Viper's just hit him. I think Viper just hit him. I swear there was contact there. I swear I saw the Williams get hit in the back. Has Viper got damage? Oh, I think he has, to be honest. I think he's got damage. I think he has. Yeah, he's got damage. Viper's got damage, and that's because Pete broke early. He broke way too early. Effectively broke check him, and that's going to force Viper now onto another set of tyres. Luckily, it's not too late. He can strap on a set of softs now and go to the end of the race, but he's going to somehow find all that time back up. He'll have to find about 30 seconds, which is not going to happen in 8 laps, regardless of what tyre you're on. He's just going to have to try and recover any penalty. But Pete, he broke early. You can't just break early like that when you got about 3 cars around you. You need to check whatever else is behind you, as well as what's ahead of you. He's just... You can see what he's trying to do. He was trying to see... You can see he was trying to back out. But... First of all, why would you back out anyway when you've got literally about to make the move on him? All you have to do was sweep around the outside, and then you have the inside of the next corner, and it will be refreshed on, and they're on. But he broke early. Obviously, Viper's not expected to break about 100 metres earlier than he normally would, and cause the damage. I would not be surprised if Pete gets the penalty for that, to be honest. Fresh is trying to make the move on Mazepin again. Mazepin just lets him through. Mazepin's, I think they're just playing games here with each other as Pete finally makes that move on Mazepin a bit later than you would have wanted to. Those Williams are going to start falling off in the next few laps or so. Now he's going to push off those hard runners, and well, he's going to have considerable more pace. As long as he doesn't do that many times, he'll be good. Yeah, I can see these guys are starting to struggle a bit more. These guys don't seem to be pitting, so I think these guys might be going to the ends, but they're struggling in terms of tyre wear. But they're not going to the end here. Yeah, all of them are staying out. There's yellow flags. Pat's Papal Devils. He's out. I think that's a simple spin, that is. Has he got any damage? I don't see anything. Has he got a front wing? Yes, he does. So, no damage taken. Fresh continues to lead the way with minimal ERS. Mazepin's got 70% to deploy. He's got all the DRS in the world, but he's got to watch out for Pete behind him. Pete's got a decent amount. Should use the DRS to keep up here. Mazepin's going to re-overtake Fresh here. No trouble at all. Pete's going to be looking to make a move at some point. He's got to use those Fresh medium tyres while he can. Mazepin will have Fresh will have DRS on Mazepin again, but Fresh is low on ERS here. But Pete can't make a move. These Russians, I think, are working together, but at the same time, they're trying to the championship here. So they're having to do helping each other, but also having to fight each other at the same time. If I was them, I'd just get guns blazing, like I did with DJ Jenny yesterday. No prisoners. Who cares who it is? Winning for that championship or for that win. Pete's all over the back of them. Sky Sentinel actually catching them back up here. That's how much these hard runners are struggling. Who are struggling? Pete can't seem to that corner properly. Just way over committing. You really need to feel the grip on those medium. You really need to feel the grip through and you turn in. You can't throw it in like you can do in qualifying. The tyres will not grip. I wonder if there'd be another swap positions, but you know, Mazepin's got all the ERS in the world, so if Pete does get close to Mazepin and they exit straight, but Fresh needs to get back up to the back of Mazepin here. 5% fast lap of the race, unsurprisingly on a Fresh set of soft 138.8. Mitzi Buffalo gets a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. What he's just cut the whole chicane and he's gone straight on into the hairpin. Is that going to cause a safety car? It has. Why, why Buffalo? Why do you have to do that? He's just ruined the race. He's just absolutely ruined it. Is anyone now going to pit for Sauce? This might be the chance for Mazepin and Fresh to do it, but they might lose track position in doing so. But think about how quick they'll be. Then again, everyone could just pit onto Sauce, but I don't know. This is our last safety car. Oh, I don't think you're going to be able to fit another safety car in about 3 laps after that anyway. So, this is our last safety car regardless. And another safety car. Another safety car, another day. Another dollar, another pound. Another twilight race here at the Abu Dhabi circuit. It's the hotel shows itself off in its different colours, from blue to purple to pink to green to I don't even know. Let's see if Mazepin pits. Will he? He is. He's going for it. Fresh into pits. Pete's following them. Pete's got a drive-through penalty speed under the safety car. Bit questionable. And they're all pitting. Everyone's pitting. Everyone's into the box. Torpedo will probably pit as well. There's no way he's going to get those softs at the end. And he's got another drive-through penalty. What's he doing? Why? I don't know why he's annoyed about it. I mean, it's quite clearly... Oh, and Sentin's going to have a slow pit stop because of there being a hold-up. I don't think he'll lose position from it. As Viper stays out, obviously, so he will gain a couple of places. His tyres will be even more. And come on, Viper. Why are you track extending on during the safety car period? It's just not necessary. And almost torpedoed into the back of Viper and Pete there. The thing is now, Pete's lost that tyre advantage. He's now going to have to somehow beat Mazepin and Fresh on these tyres, and Mazepin and Fresh are going to forget how quick these tyres are compared to those hards. Anyway. Everyone's on Fresh softs now, and I was looking forward for that battle with Pete, Fresh and Mazepin. I really was. Different compounds, different laps of wear. Just a three-way battle for the win, but now they're all on soft tyres here. And, well, does Pete have the pace to keep up with them? So we all know Mazepin and Fresh are generally a little bit quicker, or do we have a bit more of a gap to everyone else in this tier? They both will be promoted to tier 2 next season. Just waiting for Papa Devils. Always seems to have the end of spin, didn't he? So he'll catch up by the end of this next lap. That's for sure. So, oh, and I forgot to mention, Fresh has a penalty, Mazepin doesn't. So, it looks like Mazepin will probably have an extended lead. It's in the lead, and looks like if this is where it's going to end, Mazepin will have a 17. Well, saying that, the fast lap might go to Mazepin if he gets a good lap in it. So, that could be 19 points of a gap going to the last race. I mean, that basically means that Fresh will have to get at least win tomorrow's race at all. It'll either get second in the fastest lap or win. And for Mazepin to not even finish to even think about Fresh getting the World Drivers' Championship in Brazil in the finale. 19 points, I mean, wow, we're seeing any warnings Mazepin's got, but I'm not expecting to have many. 1 warning, 2 warnings. He's on 2 warnings, so he can still get his own penalty here. Fresh had a 5-second time penalty, but obviously got removed. So, but Fresh doesn't have any extra warnings to add on to it. So he can afford a couple of warnings if he needs to. Mazepin has to keep it clean. On my warning, on those much grippier softs, make sure he doesn't see it catch him out. And the safety car is in. Oh, that's my pedals. Mazepin is in. Oh, Mazepin's in. The safety car's in. Bit tired today. As the Ferrari's going to line it up now for. Skensing's had the penalty with Viper, and I think Viper's got another penalty for it. Why is people having collisions under the safety car? You can have up to 10 car lengths, not 10 centimeters. Oh no! I thought Mazepin had been a moment there, but it's just weaving. I hate those camera angles. Fresh will be all over the back of him, but he's got that penalty to look out for. Pete, to be honest, Pete is his better chance of winning this race than his Mazepin. So Fresh decided to go against Mazepin. He would want to let Pete through and let Pete challenge for him. But, I mean, well, Pete's just made an absolute shit show of that, and then there they go. That's it. That's Pete's win out the window already. As Mazepin and Fresh are going to be insanely fast now on those Fresh set softs. Oh, where's Fresh wants to do that? I don't think he's used to those Fresh softs. He's completely screwed that up. And then there's the yellow flags. I think that might be Matador. Viper going to move on Torpedo. Torpedo's on 10 uphold softs. He's going to have absolutely no grip at all. Slipstream for Torpedo. Viper's going to defend. He's got a lot fresher soft tyres compared to Torpedo. Torpedo's braking on the curb, which is not something you want to do unless you've got ABS. Yeah, you can see he's got no grip on those tyres, despite having about 6 laps into the safety car. Those tyres are not going to be very nice. Yeah, Pete just doesn't have the pace to keep up with Fresh Mazepin right now. It's to get up to 1.2. Well, he's got a bit here. He's doing decent now. Mazepin's struggling a lot. Even though he's struggling more on the Fresh softs than he was on one hards. I'm never confused by that. Sky Sentinel will be next to try and overtake Torpedo. Torpedo's softs are just not in a good condition at all. Ras somehow has the ability to drain all these ERS. Oh, Mazepin's got a penalty! And Torpedo's off the circuit. Where is he going? He's trying to make it to the pits. And he's not made a pit lane. What is he doing? There's no between left and right. Oh, I just clipped the barriers. You can't reverse into the pit lane, so teleported back himself. And oh no, what is he doing? Oh, it's just tier 3 in a nutshell. What is he doing? He's just accelerating. Doesn't know what the reverse is. And he's retired. I am so confused. Oh. I don't even know. I shouldn't be laughing about that, but I can't. Oh my god, that's just classic. That is classic, that is. Pete's unable to keep up with the leaders as expected, but Pete hasn't got a warning. Pete just needs to stay on to these guys here. Pete just needs to stay within 3 seconds, which I'm pretty sure he's more capable of doing. So what he needs to do is keep it within 3 seconds. He just needs to do this about 2.5 laps more. Keep it consistent, keep the penalties low, stop any mistakes. I'm not sure if his pace is down to 1.7 seconds. It just doesn't look like it's going to be. It's going to be close. Fresh looking a bit quicker right now, obviously. I don't believe it says, but Sant, Matador, and Papa Devils are all going to get points this race. Holy crap! Mazepin's got the fastest lap, and that's going to be crucial for the Drivers' Championship. But yeah, Papa Devils and Matador and Sant all going to get points this race, which is very rare to see, especially for Papa Devils and Sant. You don't see them in the points very often. Most of the time at the back of the grid, back of the field, but they are taking these points away. They've At least, I mean, at least they haven't spun or crashed or hit anyone. So, I mean, automatically makes them better than everyone else that just retired now, and that's including one and only STB. STB is worse than the Papa Devils. We've heard it, everyone. There you go. Pete, he's got 1.9 seconds. These guys are just slipstreaming each other, and it's oh, he's got 1 second. He needs to keep that gap. I mean, the rate he's going, he might just keep it away, but he needs to dig deep and try and find a gap. But that gap's not 2.1. That gap's at about. It doesn't look like he's going to get the victory here. That gap's at 2.5. It's put on leader, so we get a little bit more accurate feeling at 2.6. I don't think Pete will have this. I don't think he'll have it. I think Mazepin's just got the extra pace in the bag. He's got a little bit more ERS to play with as well. I don't think Pete will have his victory. He might be able to get P2 here, which will only favour Mazepin coming into the last race of the season. Pete's gone wide, and I think, yeah, that's his. I don't even know if it's going to be on the podium, even P2 at this rate. Of the way. Oh, never mind. Oh, he's just destroyed his car. He's not just lost his. He's not even just lost his victory. He's lost the whole podium now. The whole podium's got the window. He was on for P3, and he's not even going to be in the top 5. And he's just. Oh. It's so easy to do on the exit of that corner. You just get it a bit wrong on the curb. It spits you off. You hit the crash into the barriers, and that's it. You're out. It looks like now it's going to be a settled victory, but for the championship, Fresh needs to overtake Mazepin. Pete's retired in the pit lane. Oh, I don't think he's taking his car out actually. Mazepin has the DRS. Looks like Mazepin will be winning this race. Doesn't look like Fresh has the ERS to do it. Yeah, and that's very nice. Unless Fresh can somehow manage to get. Oh no, he's screwed the corner up. He's messed it up. He's had to back out of the corner and re-enter it. And that's compromised his exit, and he's not got the ERS to do anything here. He's got no ERS at all left, and well, oh, he's gonna make the move. Is he? Oh, this collision! Fresh is gonna try and get the position. Mazepin cuts the corner, and then Fresh is through. I'm not sure if this is scripted or not. If they're trying to, if Mazepin did this on purpose, I don't know. But did that happen on merit? Was that mistake legit? And Fresh is going wide. He's crapped himself. He's made a mistake, and he's lost that position. Fresh looks like he's going to come and win this race. Viper's got multiple penalties. I don't think he's going to earn the podium. It looks like it's going to be Gareth Rass that might get his first podium on his debut. Fresh comes around the corner, the most unlikeliest winner of all that race. Fresh will come in to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Mazepin will have to settle for P2. That's great for the championship. Viper will pull down to about P5 by probably the end of this. Maybe a whole hold for P4 actually. Gareth Rass will get P3. Not expecting that after losing his front wing. Matador will get P5. Sant will get P6. Sant with all those penalties will finish P7. I think Papadel was P8. I don't know who was P9. I know definitely was Tovar AI in P10. And well, Sant driver of the day, but I think my driver of the day. Well, I don't even know. I think my driver of the day might have to go to Gareth Race. I mean, with no front wing and still managed to pull his way back through for an unlikely podium. I think my driver of the day has to go to the Mercedes driver. It was a brilliant drive comeback from all that. It was a brilliant comeback for him. I mean, obviously multiple safety cars helped him, but nonetheless, he still managed to find his way through. And there is your race victory. Fresh out of nowhere on the last lap to get the race victory. That's great for the championship. Mazepin does have the race fastest lap, but that gap goes instead of being 19 points, that gap now it's now 5 points. So it's gone from Mazepin. All Mazepin needed was Mazepin needed was to simply, Fresh had to get P2 or win to at least fight for that championship from the last race. But now it's 5 points. All Fresh needs is to be ahead of Mazepin in the race, well, at least winning, because it's 5 points, and take the victory that way. Flash needs to win though, but it's not as bad as it was before. Mazepin P2, Geras Reis P3, Viper P4, Matador P5, Sam P6, Sentin P7, Patova P8 is AI, P10, Papadels would be P9, Pete will actually be P9, I think. And your retirements were, well, all those drivers that aren't able to say. And that will be it. And after about half the race under the safety car, we finally come to the end. The stream's been 75 minutes long, despite me starting the stream late. Thank you very much for watching this race, if you have already, or if you watch it back at later. Wow, definitely some great moments, but please come back for us for Brazil. There will be no Tier 1. Tier 1 has been done and dusted for now, and we will be back for Tier 2 for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Might be potentially my last league race in STB for on this game, because, well, we all know why. And then obviously will be Tier 3 for Brazil, and both those championships are going down into those last races, so you don't want to miss them. But we'll be back then, and don't miss them, because it is the final race and it is Brazil, and if you don't watch that race, Maldi will be very unhappy. So thank you very much for watching, and